Bakwar Tawab Yasharala. Tawab Yawam. So Baba Yawam. Thawadah Yahweh. kayaYasharaal. Bahasham Hamashad. Lakal. La Davar. La Sapar. La Yad. So Baba Gadol. Yahweh Sababa. Yashamar Yasharala. Abba Noah. Walam. Isaiah. Walam. Thawadah Yahweh. Thawadah Yahweh. Oh gosh, you all. It feels so amazing to be back on. I have been down, absent, and I have felt like I was in a sort of bondage, like I was on lockdown. So it feels really good to be back. Oh my gosh, my spirit feels liberated. I've never felt so free, you all, and it feels so good. I'm very thankful to the Most High God of Israel in His only begotten Son's name for everything that He has allowed me to go through, the things that He allows me to prosper and prevail against, and the way that I come out through His mighty power and His will, still standing. It feels so good because I'm still here. And not anybody on this earth, can't nobody on this earth that lives and breathes and defecates in voids like me gonna make me feel like my God is no longer present. Because I know that He exists. I know that we have never found any iniquity in Him. And He's never been a wilderness. And He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's the God of the living, not of the dead. So I know my God exists. And I know He hears my prayers. And He has not turned His countenance from me. So I feel dang good, you all. Lord, in Christ, I feel good. I feel renewed. I feel quickened. I can't believe I'm on. I've been wanting to get on for so long, but it's felt like a crime to be on here, you all. So I'm so glad to be back on. Like, my spirit, I'm like, it feels like if you could see my spirit, it would be like gleaming. I just feel so good, y'all. I feel so good. Oh my gosh. Let's timestamp the day. So the Hebraic timekeeping, it is the 17th day of the first Hebrew month. So this is our first month of the Hebraic year. We are in the month of Abiyab, which means spring or green or beginning. So this is the month of the Passover. And if your celebration of the Passover is similar to mine, your first day of the Passover celebration was the Gregorian April 22nd. So I believe, what is Sunday? Let's see here. That would be the 28th at evening. That will be the ending of your Feast of Unleavened Breads, because that's the ending of my Feast of Unleavened Breads. The day, what day are we in? We are in the 5th day of the work week. So Lord willing, if we get to see tomorrow, it is the eve of the Shabbat, in which we should be preparing to rest, to do no servile work therein. So I am so grateful. I'm anxious. I'm excited. You all, there's been so much going on in my life. And it's like I go missing in action and then I come back and then I leave and then I come back and I leave. But every time I come back, I feel so good. I feel so good. Let's timestamp the day in Roman Catholic or Gregorian timekeeping. It is April 25th, 2024. It is right now 7:26 a.m. Central Standard Gregorian Roman Catholic time, and it is Thursday. It is about 69 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it's not too cold, not too hot. It seems like we're just now entering in the beginning of summer, which is so strange in the South. It should have been summer by now. Oh, man. I want us to go ahead and hop into our prayer. But beforehand, I want to let you all know, yes, this is a work day for me. I was off for 7 whole days, so it felt so good to be free from servile work and from, working. PTO in a nice Airbnb, in another state, away from home, far away from these electronic devices, just to be able to free my mind and be liberated and be washed and purged of anything that has been burdening me. But I'm back. So with that said, there may be an alarm that you should hear in about an hour and 1 minute exactly. That's just an alarm letting me know that I need to go ahead and sign in. It's time to start working. Lord willing, we'll be done before then. Or if it be the will of the Lord, I'll just dismiss I'll dismiss the alarm and I'll keep speaking. But with further ado, before we open up and do any additional greetings and welcome backs and all that good stuff, I want to pray. I want to increase in the spirit as I decrease in the flesh. So we all know, if there be any brothers that are listening, please ensure that the crown of your head is uncovered. You know that your head belongs to Yahawashi, which belongs to Yahweh. We have to keep the perfect order. If I have any sisters listening, please ensure that your head is covered. You don't want to dishonor your head or bring shame to your head. Your head belongs to the man, which belongs to Yahawashi, which belongs to Yahweh, the Most High God of Israel. We have to keep the perfect order. So if you'd like, I would love if you all can close your eyes and bow your heads, and please don't forget, make sure that you're facing the east so that our prayers are thrown up toward Jerusalem, Israel, where our temple, our tabernacle is. That's where we want to throw our prayers. And if you know the prayer by heart already, make sure you say it along. And if you don't, you can listen as well. Thank you. Abba Yanawa, Yata Kwadash, Shamka, Wayata Barak, Malak Watka, Wataza Wanka, Yahaya, Aishwaya, Bashamayam, Waba Arataza, Watantan, Lachamnawa, Tamyadyat, Wamachawal, Lanawa, Chata'at Yanawa, Ka'ashara, Anachnawa, Mawakalyam, Lachawatayam, Lanawa, Wa'al, Dabayanawa, Layadya, Nasayawan, Washamar Yanawa, Makal, Rai, Aman. Glory be to the Most High. Thank you, my people, for staying tuned during prayer. If you'd like, we're going to go over this prayer in the English for any of my predominant English speakers. This prayer says, Our Father, it shall be holy your name, and it will be blessed. Thy kingdom, thy will, it will be done in heaven and in earth. And you will give our bread continually, and forgive to us our sins, as which we forgive to sinners to us. And do not let us enter to hands of temptation, and protect us from all evil. So be it. I love that prayer. And I thank you all for staying tuned during prayer. I love prayer. I love the opportunity to increase in the spirit and decrease in the flesh. It's always a very phenomenal feeling. So welcome, you all. It's been a while. It has been a great while. I believe almost 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. And in those 6 months, I have been cleaving to the Most High. Now, this is not to say that I don't cleave to the Most High, but within a 6-month period of time, I have cleaved to the Most High for dear life. I have felt like I was in a treacherous bondage, in a a lockdown that had me disconfided. And I feel great to be back on. I feel goodly, because no one's good but the Most High God of Israel. It feels goodly to be back on. I received a comment on my Shalom video, and I have individuals in the UK that are listening to this word. And it's so phenomenal to know that this word is going throughout this world in all four corners. Like, how could the Lord be using little old me to be speaking, and there are literally people listening? In past times, I've seen comments where there are individuals that are from Brazil, South Africa, and it's like, Europe, I'm like, what in the world? How is this possible? Little old me, this little timid, dainty little woman. But the Most High can use whomever He wants to use, however He wants to use you. So you all, I am grateful, and I feel really good to be back on. And Lord willing, I won't be away for so long next time. I've been in chambers of wisdom. I've been in chambers of gospel. I've been in small portions of chambers of prophecy. And I've been visiting chambers of the law in this word. And it feels so good. I know that some of you may know, but I'm going to tell you something that I learned new in the law, you all. Leviticus 19:11. Let's turn to it. I have to get there. And I know when I listen back to these teachings, it sounds like I'm just like throwing my pages. I'm not, y'all. I'm not. The phone is just so close to where I'm turning, so it sounds like that, but I'm not destroying my pages. This is what I learned, you all. Let's turn to Leviticus 19:11. It says, "Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another." Let me tell you, when I read this verse, when I was briefly visiting the chamber of the law, I told you I got cut. I felt convicted. I was grieved, ashamed, embarrassed, because I'm like, oh my God. It doesn't matter how big or how small we think a lie is. If you lie one to another, you've broken the law of the Most High. That law alone, if you're wrestling with the spirit of deception or spirit of lying, it makes you sit back and examine yourself, whether ye be in the faith or are you a reprobate. Because we know, as true followers of the Most High God of Israel, we have to listen to this word and believe on this word as it is written. Come over here to John. Let me read that verbatim. That's one of my favorite verses in the scriptures. It's 7:38 in the book of John. It says, "He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." We know that the scriptures are full of words. It's black and white. There are no gray areas. You're not going to find any contradiction in one space. You're not going to find any contradictions or ability to cut another verse in another space. It's literally written on paper so that we can see it. Though it has lost its force because it's not in the Hebraic language or Abaya, our Hebrew language, we read this word and we understand it. And we understand that our God, who is the God of Israel only, is a militant God. He is a man of war. That same mercy, grace, and love that he has for his people, out of that same being comes forth wrath and judgment. So when we read these scriptures, we have to realize how important it is to dismiss your feelings and emotions. Because when we were at Mount Sinai, when Moses gave that law to us. We agreed. It was a blood oath. So it's either you do it or you die. It's not, no, you can kind of do it. A little bit you can get by. But on this area, it's fine. No, you do it or you die. Choose this day, life or death. Are you going to worship the Most High until the death of you as you seek truth while he fights for you? Or are you going to envy Satan and death? Because you got to remember, you can't be lukewarm, so you can't be straddling the fence, or you will be spewed out. So it's either this or it's that. Yo, I feel good in the spirit. I love this fire, this fervor. I love it. It feels good. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to laugh, jump up with joy. Like I can't contain it. So I hope that you all feel it and it resonates to you. I love you. Yo, I was reading Leviticus 19:11 and I was convicted. I was convicted. I have to be honest with you all. Israel is the most stiff-necked, stubborn. This is a nation that is in need of rehabilitation on a spiritual level first. Because if we can't get it right in the spirit, there's no way that we will prosper in our walk. This people, this nation needs so much help that even sometimes the ones that the Most High has ordained to speak to his children, to speak life into his children, it can overwhelm you. What happened to Moses? He smote that rock. And because of the anger that he had toward, let's go to it. Let's turn to it. Let's turn to it so that we can get it verbatim. This is Numbers. We're going to start in Numbers, chapter 20, verse 7. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the rod, and gather thou the assembly together, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth his water. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock. And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice. And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, Because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them, this the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them." We're going to stop right there. Moses was recorded to be one of the meekest men to walk this earth. The same earth that we walk on today is the same earth that Moses also walked on. His feet, whether it be sandals or barefoot that he walked this earth. One of the meekest men to ever walk. Israel is such a stiff-necked, hard-hearted people that because of their stubbornness, their murmuring, their disobedience, their disbelief, it caused Moses to come out of the spirit to where he couldn't even go into the land that was promised unto the Israelites. He couldn't even step foot into that land. I'm telling you, this people have the ability to make you question if you really want to keep dealing with them or not. I'm speaking from firsthand experience. These people will have you thinking, why do I even care about Israel anymore? I'm sick of them. Why do I want to do business with these people? Why do I keep getting on here and speaking this word and I know ain't nobody listening? That's how these people can get you. But you know what you got to remember? Man, woman, you got to do whatever the Lord wants you to do, whether you want to do it or not. Not only that, He's in control of everything. And these things bring us so much character, so much experience. You can be in your 20s, in your teens, an adolescent, a child, and you know this truth, you got the experience, and you speak with so much wisdom, understanding, and instruction, more than the person that have the hoary head. It be your wisdom that give you your age, right? That's what the scriptures say. That's one of the chambers of wisdom, Ecclesiasticus, which a lot of us know as Sirach. Do y'all want to read it? Let's read it. Y'all know I like to back everything up with these scriptures. Come over here to the book of Ecclesiasticus, which we may all know as the book of Sirach. We're going to turn to, y'all, I have been turning, and I can't find it. And I know as soon as this particular uplifting is over, I'll find it. I know that it is in the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach to the majority of us. So Lord willing, once I find it, in the next teaching, I will call it out. I'll be like, y'all remember that verse I was having such a hard time looking for? And I'll bring it out, right? But anyhow, I say that to say that despite your age, you could be young, an adolescent, and you can teach an elder. You understand? It's not the hoary head that giveth you wisdom, because there be some that have gray hair for no reason. You've been here. You have this experience that you should have, and you still have not learned enough to be able to instruct me, to give me understanding. So I'm saying this to say, Israel can really grind your gears. They have the ability to grind your gears. I tell you, I have never done business with an Israelite who is in the merchant business and have never been scammed, not satisfied, or disrespected. Not one time. Not one time. And I've gotten to the point where I have literally said, I would rather do business with heathens than do business with my own people. Right? Then I have to remember, not everyone is built like I am. Not externally, my people, but internally. Not all of my people learn the way that I learn. Not all of my people have had the luxury or benefit being raised as I was raised. All of my people do not have the same wit that I have. And though I've been given a lot of responsibility, there's a lot more that's expected out of me. And in this responsibility that I have, there comes also wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and instruction. And if I do not get rid of that impenitent heart, how can I be an example of that same grace that the Most High has given me to have me repent and turn from my wicked ways? Come over here to Romans, because I love this verse. This is Romans chapter 2, and we're going to go to verse... where is it? We're going to start in verse 3. Verse 3 through 5. So Romans chapter 2, verses 3 through 5 read, "And thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things, and doest the same, that thou shalt escape the judgment of God? Or despisest thou the riches of his goodness in forbearance and long suffering, not knowing that the goodness of God leadeth them to repentance? But after thy hardness and impenitent heart treasurest up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of God." Paul was saying, we don't have enough patience for each other. We don't have enough love for each other. We're not feeling for each other on a level of this people have gone through seven captivities. The transatlantic captivity being one of the greatest, chattel slavery, where we have witnessed our mothers have their stomachs cut open and the baby fall out. Witness our men, our heads, our protectors, our hedges be raped anally by other men, be deprived of their masculinity, and so much more. We're not taking those things into consideration, having that sympathy and empathy that we need toward one another. The same sympathy and empathy that a lot of us can give to other heathens, other nations. That same drive and fervor and will and fire that these other Israelites have to save the other nations and heathens should be the same fervor, fire, and enthusiasm that we have toward one another to make sure that we are being long-suffering. So I had to think within myself, I'm like, oh gosh, because my people do have the ability to push my buttons, as I'm pretty sure they have the ability to push yours. Just like a sibling. We know that we're all brethren. We're brothers and sisters. And if you've grown up with brothers and sisters, you know that your brothers, because I grew up with 4, and your sisters have the ability to piss you off on a whole nother level. It's just like hell. It's like that sibling rivalry, sibling annoyance. Why are you so annoying? And how do you know how to push every button that I have? Think about that on a nation or on a national level, or a nation level, a level of whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Nationwide, if that's the best. I don't know. Like, what would be the best way to say that? Anyhow, I say that to circle back and say, I've experienced bad commerce with my people. I have experienced blatant disrespect from my people. And I've endured different courtships where I have literally thought to myself, I see why worldly women say that, quote unquote, black men ain't shit. I see why. I can see why. Now, am I justifying that saying, that worldly proverb against my brothers? No, I'm not. But can I start thinking like a woman and really be like, dang, I really understand why? Yes. I've endured horrible courtships. Just got out of one that has disappointed me to the depths of my spirit. But then in the same token, I've learned so much going through it. Very gracious for it. And I was thankful to the Most High, to the highest. Because I learned even if it just be that, look, I learned Leviticus 19:11. I learned something. Not to say that that's the only thing that I learned. But that was one of the biggest points to me. Because I had gotten to a point to where I was really sick of my people. I'm just being honest. And I'm like, you know what? They don't deserve my respect. They don't deserve me having empathy or sympathy for them. They don't deserve it. And then I had to come back like, oh my gosh. If the Lord was to search out my inner reins, the deepest depths of my kidneys right now, I will be destroyed. Because I'm holding in contempt someone who has not done anything to me. I don't personally know you, my brother or my sister that be listening from the UK or from Brazil or from South Africa or from Europe. I don't personally know you. You've done nothing to me. But I've allowed an isolated situation to be my overall view of all of my people. When I know that the scriptures literally say that 2/3 of us will be destroyed, which should give me common sense to know that a lot of my people, we are few and far apart. And though I have been dealt a bad hand with a lot of the people that I've interacted with in this nation, I'm not going to allow those isolated issues to be my overall view of my whole nation, of all my brethren. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't have to like tell them all the truth. I could like tell them a little bit, or kind of like, tweak it a little bit. That's where I had got you all. And you know what's so great about the Most High? He knows that I had got to that point. Because when I saw Leviticus 19:11, it changed my life. So now I had to sit down and examine myself, whether I be in the faith. I want to read that verse verbatim. Come over here to 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. It says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahawashi, Hamashiach, is in you, except ye be reprobates. A reprobate is one that is not standing the test, not approved, unfit. And I know I ain't unfit. I know that I am not a being that is not approved. I know that I am standing this test. I have not come this far in my walk, in my life, to sit down and allow something so small to be turned into something so big when it really ain't that serious. And you weigh the things that you go through with the things that Yahawashi went through. Yahawashi was literally crucified, put to death for things that he did not do. And when you think about that, it literally makes the issues that you feel like you have likened unto dilapidated wood. They're non-existent. So I circle back to say I read that verse, y'all, and I was like, oh my gosh. It literally changed my life. Because now I have to be honest with my people. Now I gotta watch what I do so that I don't put myself in a position where I have to be dishonest with my people or telling partial of the truth to my people. Because the law says, let's read it again, ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. I can't do it. I don't care what you do. And that's not to say that I don't want you to get into the kingdom. That's not what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I have to work out my own salvation in fear and in trembling. If you're playing with yours, I can't tell you what to do. But I know it's for me and mine. We're going to serve the Lord. You hear me? So I had to change me. And it felt good to change me. And whether I had learned just this one thing or multiple things, I gained so much. So that is to say, I can feel for you, my people. I'm not unreal. I know that this world is starting to glamorize and make big people that you hear on social media. People who have these huge platforms on quote unquote YouTube and things to that nature. Me, I don't live that life. I'm a real, live, breathing human being from the nation of Israel. And as my faith is based from the tribe of Judah, fourth born son to Jacob, renamed Israel of Leah. And I go through it. I wake up, I go to sleep, I eat, I defecate, I void, I feel sick. I get sad, I get depressed, I get anxious, I get nervous, I get upset. Same thing that you do. So don't look at us like we're these top-notch people that can't be touched. I bleed the same royal blood that you bleed. I go through the exact same thing that you go through. So whether I be on here and I know this word, you better believe when I get off, I'm getting afflicted. It happens. You have to prepare your soul for temptation when you are in this walk. And those of us that have been given the benefit of being able to persuade so many of our people to come into this faith, to come into this truth and walk this truth and stop playing. There's so much required of us, my people, whether you be female or male. It's so much required of us. So I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter what you go through. You still got to love your people as you love yourself. You got to treat your people with love. You have to forgive your people. You can't be walking around with unforgiveness in your heart, but crying out to the Most High to forgive you and think that He's going to forgive you. You can't be walking around, become cold and different in your demeanor to the same person that you were claiming that you were in love with or loved. You cannot have this worldly view on your people. You can't. Because when you die to the flesh, you got to leave all that behind. Your thought process, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think, the way you look, everything. Everything got to change. The way you eat, everything. The way you spiritually eat, everything got to change, my people. You got to meditate upon the word day and night. You have to secure yourself at the needle of the tent of the Most High so that you're not shook like a reed in the wind. You got to know that the Most High finds joy in righteous judgment, and you allow Him to be your vindicator. You're not supposed to be seeking vengeance on your own. And it's easy. It's very easy to do it. But we got to remember how great the Most High is, and that He searcheth the inner ways, and that His eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and that He specifically has His eye on Israel. So whether you've been mistreated, done wrong, you got to get that to the Most High. And sometimes you got to even consider that they really may not know what they are doing. You give it to the Lord, because it's such a heavy burden to try and carry on your own. You got to know that the Most High will go to back for you as long as you continue to do what your duty is. What is the whole duty of man, my people? Come over here to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this, the whole duty of man. This is what you are required to do. You are going to have those instances where your people will frustrate the heck out of you. Make you want to smote that rock and call them rebels. But don't do it. Do what the Most High told you to do, which is to love them as you love yourself. If you know that you don't want somebody to cut you off, leave you high and dry, why would you do it to them? If you know that you don't want someone lying to you, why would you do it to them? If you know that you don't want someone to act different with you in a diverse manner than they would if it were you and that person behind closed doors, why would you do it to them? And I speak the things that I speak from experience. I've lied, and I've had people lie to me. I've been in situations where I'm dealing with this person for a long time, and I love this person. I'm in love with this person. Man, yeah, I want to live the rest of my life with you. But then this person gets around a group of people that you're trying to please, and you forget everything you've told me. You become a person that I've never seen before. You're walking off and you're ignoring me like I'm not speaking to you. It makes you look at that person in another light, like, man, you were pretending this whole time. And I knew it. I knew you were pretending. I just didn't know when your pretenseness would come out. And it hurts, my people. It hurts. But you know what you got to do? You got to gird up your loins, and you got to keep pushing. And if you be a woman, you better have a manly stomach and keep those womanly thoughts. Because ain't nothing worth losing your salvation over. You have to endure until the end so that then you will be saved. You got to wait until Yahushua is revealed from the heavens with His angels. At that point will you then get your rest. So it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense to think that you will not be afflicted while you're here. You're going to be afflicted. You're going to go through it. And you better take it. Take it on the chin. And you better love it. Because that experience, it gives you so much. It gives you so much wisdom. It gives you personality. It gives you the ability to provide instruction. And I'm looking for the verse that specifically says what it is that I'm saying to you all now. But this is what happens. I don't know. You'll be giving me a hard time to find it. But I tell you, it worketh in you a goodly work. And it turns you into a great person. It turns you into an individual that the Most High wants to associate himself with. The Most High is not just associating himself with, low doers, half-steppers, you know what I'm saying? Pretenseness or dissimulation or individuals that want to be one way this day and another way this day. That's not who he's associating himself with. And he's proving and trying the ones that he wants in his kingdom. Because we know that this kingdom was made for many, but the one to come was made for few. So you have to remember, though you are maybe in situations where you have been mistreated by your people, you have to remember that 2/3 of us will be destroyed. I cannot find this verse. 2/3 of us will be destroyed, my people. 2/3 of us will be destroyed. And for some odd reason, the 1/3 were like few and far apart. So it will be very rare that you get to actually be around those that are sincere. It's really rare. And it's a scary thing. It's a grieving thing. But though we know it's a rare thing, you still, I thought that was it, I'm sorry. You still have to continue working out your faith in trembling, your salvation in trembling and in fear. Here it is. It's 2 Peter, and it's chapter 1. And it's verses 5-7. And it reads, "And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity." We have to remember that the experiences that we go through, it gives us what we need. The Most High is developing a character in you that is acceptable and required to enter into the kingdom to come. And we have to be patient and allow the Most High to do the work on us that he has ordained for us. The Most High loves you. As long as you are keeping his laws, statutes, his commandments, he loves you. And he's going to look out for you until the death of you. You just got to fight for this truth diligently. I did not know that this would lead into an inspiration or motivation or a keep pushing type of word. But I'm grateful that this has come out. And I do hope that you all continue in your walk. Continue in your walk. I feel very goodly this morning. I feel good, y'all. Like I feel good. I feel like I want to run around the complex for a bit and walk. You know what I'm saying? And just feel nice, feel alive. It feels good. It feels really, I feel like I've been liberated. So it feels really nice to be on. But yeah, I think that's all for now. Lord willing, I'll be back on in just a second. I'm going to hopefully, we're going to enter into a chamber of wisdom, or we may enter into a chamber of gospel. I haven't really decided yet, but we're going to enter into one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one up because right now it's 8:13 a.m. Central Standard. So we've been talking for about 50 minutes. So I want to go ahead and get this one up so that you all can have it. If you're on your way to work, on your break at work, or on lunch at work. I hope that it's enjoyable to you, and I hope that you feel goodly when you listen to it. And as we all know, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Never cease prayer. Bind and loose, and always live ready. I will talk to you all as Yahweh wills. I love you so much, and I miss you. Bye.